Now let us see about the classification of acids. The acid is classified into different ways. The first one is based on their sources. So the acid is classified into their sources and their basicity and their ionization and their concentrations. The first one is based on their sources, that is organic acid and inorganic acid. Based on their sources, the acid is classified into organic acid and inorganic acid. The organic acid are present in the plants and living organisms, that is animals. So, the first one is organic acid, that is present in the plants and animals, that is living organism. Living organism. Human being is also a animal. So the organic acid is present in the plants and animals. For example, HCOOH, CH2COOH. This is the example for organic acid. So the next one is the acid is classified in their sources. The next one is inorganic acid. Second one is inorganic acid. The inorganic acid is present in the rocks and minerals. Rocks and I don't write the organic acid and the inorganic acid because this is here. So I don't write it. So you will also write in the observation note organic acid. This is present in the plants and animals, and inorganic acid it is present in rocks and minerals. So you definitely write in the observation note. So the acid is classified in the sources organic acid and inorganic acid. The next one is the acid is classified in their basicity. So it is divided into monobasic acid, dibasic acid, and tribasic acid. Already we know that mono means that what is this? 1. Di means 2. Tri means 3. So the acid is then we give the hydrogen ions. The acid is dissolved in the aqueous solutions, that is the hydrogen ions are produced. So same for the only one hydrogen ions are replaceable per molecules. So that is called monobasic acid. That is the first one is monobasic acid. That acid contains only one replaceable hydrogen atom per molecules. So that is called monobasic acid. Mono means one. So that is only one replaceable hydrogen atom per molecules. So that is called what is monobasic acid. Also you know that என்னென்ன ஆசிட்லாம் வந்து என்ன பண்ணும் only one hydrogen atom வந்து replace பண்ணும் சொல்லிட்டு நம்ம பார்த்து ஏற்கனவே ஓகேவா which are the acid are replaceable in only one hydrogen atom? Acetic acid, formic acid, and nitric acid. So these are the examples of the monobasic acid. Okay. So the next one is dibasic acid. Tri means what? 2. So 2 hydrogen ions are replaceable that acid. So that is called dibasic acid. So that acid which gives 2 hydrogen ions. 2 hydrogen ions gives. So that is called dibasic acid. Which acid gives two hydrogen ions? That is called dibasic acid. So we go to the tabular column. Which one is gives 2 hydrogen ions? The sulfuric acid. So this is the example for the what is dibasic acid. The next one is dibasic acid. Tri means what? 3. So what is this? எல்லாருமே கண்டுபிடிச்சிருப்பீங்க ட்ரைபேசிக் ஆக்சைடுனா எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு what is this? That acid which gives 3 hydrogen ions per molecule. So that is called what is tribasic acid. That acid which gives 3 hydrogen ions per molecule. So that is called what is tribasic acid. For example, what is this? All of you know that. What are the examples of tribasic acid? Is phosphoric acid, because this is gives the 3 hydrogen ions. So it is the examples of what is this tribasic acid. So the acid is classified in their basicity, that is monobasic acid, dibasic acid and tribasic acid. So monobasic acid means that only one hydrogen ion is gives that acid, that it is called monobasic acid. Dibasic acid means that an acid which gives 2 hydrogen ions, that is called what is this dibasic acid. Dibasic acid means that an acid which gives 3 hydrogen ions. You should write hydrogen ions, that is called tribasic acid. The next one is the acid is classified into their ionizations. So already we seen about what is ionizations, because the acid is dissolved in aqueous solution. At that time we get the hydrogen ions, correct? But the acid is alone, that we can't separate the hydrogen ions. So that is called what is the acid is ionized in the water. So that is called ionization. So the acid is dissolved in the water. It is partially or completely dissolved. Okay. So the acids are classified in the based on ionizations, that is strong acid and weak acid. Strong acid means that the acid that ionizes in the completely. So the acid completely ionizes in water, that is strong acids. So in aqueous solutions, the acid is completely ionized. So that is called what is strong acid. The first one is a strong acid. This means that acid that ionize completely in water, that is called strong acid. For example, HCl, that means hydrochloric acid. This is completely ionized in the water. So it is the example for strong acid. Weak acid. You guessed that? What is weak acid? Acid ionizing partially in water. So partially என்ன ஆக்சிட் வந்து அயனைஸ் ஆகுதோ அதுதான் நம்ம வந்து என்ன சொல்றோம் வீக் ஆக்சிட் அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம் ஓகேவா acids that ionize partially in water, that is called, what is this, weak acid. For example, CH3COOH. So this is the example of the weak acid. The next one is the acid classified on their concentrations. Okay, so it is concentrated acid and dilute acid. The first one is concentrated acid. Relatively large amount of acid dissolved in a solvent, that is called, what is a concentrated acid. So large amount of acid dissolved in a solvent. So இப்போ நம்ம for example ஒரு கொஞ்சம் தண்ணி எடுத்துப்போம், கொஞ்சம் சால்ட் எடுத்துப்போம். ஓகேங்களா, நம்ம தண்ணியில சால்ட் கொட்ட கொட்ட என்ன ஆகும், அது கரைஞ்சினே இருக்கும். ஓகேவா, சேம் ஃபார் தி, ஸோ large amount of acid dissolved in a solvent, that is called concentrated acid. The next one is dilute acid. It is opposite to the concentrated acid, that is smaller amount of acid dissolved in a solvent. So that is called dilute acid. Concentrated acid means that what is a large amount of acid dissolved in a solvent, and dilute acid means that smaller amount of acid dissolved in a solvent. So this is the classification of acid. So what we discussed about in this unit, the first one is what is acids. So test present in the substance, that is called acid. After that, the Arrhenius theory proposed that the H plus ions is dissolved in the aqueous solution, so that is called acid. So some of the examples are discussed and some of the sources are given and which acid is present in the, what is this, that source we have discussed. For example, tea is butanic acid is present, lemon is citric acid is present, the apple is malic acid is present, stomach is hydrochloric acid is present. So some of the sources and acid is present we have discussed. So next one is classification of acids. So there are 4 classifications. There are based on their sources and based on their basicity, based on their ionization, based on concentrations. So we have discussed about that topics. Thank you, students.